G'day guys, it's Chris here from TribeFit, and today I've got a very special guest with me, Carly Box. How you doing, Carly?
I'm good, Chris.
That's good to hear. And whereabouts for everyone watching this, everyone listening in, whereabouts in Australia are you based?
Up in sunny Queensland in Brisbane.
Fantastic. How's the weather today?
It is nice today.
Cool. Good to hear. Good to hear. Fantastic. Well, thanks for your time. And I guess today, what today's about, just doing a bit of an interview just to get to understand a bit more about your background, the success, the awesome success you've had with online clients, and also, as I mentioned, give a bit of a background of what you were able to do, how you got clients, and all of that sort of stuff. So I guess first and foremost, I know when we first had a chat way back when, you were doing face-to-face training. I know you yourself and your partner, Michael, have a gym. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So we own a gym in Brisbane called the Barracks Gym. So we're both ex-army, and our original idea was we wanted to do group training.
Cool.
That was very short-lived once we sort of realised that it just didn't suit us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what we're passionate about. So then we moved to one-on-one training.
Cool.
And, still kind of every man and his dog, doing the lead box thing and, chasing people around the block and, pamphlets and letterbox drops and all that kind of stuff. And then the penny just kind of dropped for us one day, both being ex-army. Obviously, the Barracks Gym is a reference to us being ex-army.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need to be training people who want to join the ADF. So that's the road we went down. And so, yeah, we cut away the group training, and we haven't totally cut away the general population. It's probably about 5% of what we do, just because we do have some great people that we like working with.
Of course.
And yeah, so we're doing some group training with the ADF applicants, and then a lot of one-on-one training between the two of us. Now, fast forward sort of 5 or 6 months, I'm solely doing online coaching.
Yep.
And Michael is doing a bit of face-to-face coaching, but he's slowly kind of handing that over to our other coaches as well, as I said to you the other day, so he can now work on the business and in it. So, that's kind of
cool.
Where we were. And
no, that's awesome. And I guess I know when we first talked, first chatted, many weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, I would say now. What interested you, or what made you want to even, or why were you contemplating going online?
So two main reasons. So we have a lot of people now. Our reputation's built up, and we have a lot of people now outside of Brisbane who contact us regularly. Just via Facebook message or, emailing us through our website, and just asking questions and looking for help and looking for guidance, and being the nice people we are, we spend the time giving them that. And, I just sort of said to Michael one day, I think that we need to really capitalize on this. Yes, we're nice people, and yes, we want to help everybody. But at the end of the day, our time and our knowledge and our experience is valuable. So that was reason number one, was wanting to capitalize on. I guess it just seemed like an endless lead bucket that we didn't even realize at the time that's what it was.
Yeah.
I said we need to really capitalize on that. What are we going to do next? And then we were trying for a baby at the time, and I sort of thought that if I could move to an online platform, then that would be a bit more flexible. And fast forward, I'm now 5 months pregnant, and it's definitely working well for us now. So
cool.
Yeah, they were the two main reasons. So
beautiful. No, and it's awesome what you touched on before about I guess specializing, when, like you mentioned with the gym, when you were sort of generalizing in what you did, the approaches, what you were helping people with was very different to, obviously, once then you're able to specialize, focus on a certain aspect, and as a result, having people kind of chasing you all around Australia. And I remember when we first chatted, obviously you went through those points then, and it was more about how to tap into some of those aspects and really capitalize on that, and that's pretty awesome. But first point, specializing was I guess part of the key to success. And then I guess, like you said as well, is the face-to-face training, the long hours, and having to be there and doing the sessions with people wasn't probably going to fit if you were to have some time off and start a family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Beautiful. So I guess so you came on board and you got the systems up and running. How did you find it? Did you find it difficult, hard? Was it surprising? Anything?
Um, I didn't necessarily find it difficult, purely because the way you guys have got it all laid out for that 8 week program is very here it is, go and do it. You really can't go wrong. So I found that really easy.
Yeah.
I found it fascinating more than anything. I remember sitting there in week 1 and saying, "Oh, they've like said that you just need this many people to pay this much a week, and you can be on 6 figures. How cool's that?" And
Yeah.
Michael's sort of got more of a business brain, so this was me kind of coming into the business side of things, and he's like, "Yeah, I know." It just seems so simple, 24 people paying this much and blah blah blah. I was like, okay, well that just seems so fascinating. And then I was hooked. And then so it was for me the avatar in the first week was just so easy, and it was so comforting to know that was so easy.
Yeah.
Because we had niched ourselves already, which I know a lot of people when they first start with you guys are only just kind of niching themselves.
Yeah.
And I was really grateful that I found that so easy. I was just like, oh, this is my person. Great, let's go. What's next? You know?
Yeah.
So and then from then on, it was just a case of I was in very early stages of pregnancy and pretty much doing my modules from bed. But that's the beauty of online.
Yeah.
And just moving through it, everything just made sense every week, and it's it built on the following week, and getting to things like Facebook ads and stuff that you're curious about but don't really know how to do it, and the templating, and by I think, when did I launch? Week 5. So by the end of week 5, I was making money, and the program had already paid for itself. So
yeah, awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I remember we had a call around week 4 or week 5, maybe week 3 it might have been, and you mentioned you had something like 82 people, 82 leads that were excited about for when you were launching, and then I think we spoke the week thereafter, and pretty much you had people freaking out thinking they were going to miss out on any of the available spots and all that sort of stuff. So that was pretty cool to hear. But so if I can remember, I think it was 4 weeks in you had, or 5 weeks in you had 16 clients or something like that.
So week 5, I had 16, and then it's doubled now. So
which is pretty phenomenal. Yeah, cool. And I do remember it's something we talk to pretty much everyone about is putting a value on yourself. It can always be hard. And I remember you ended up we talked about it, you ended up discounting a little bit for the weekly payments, but then you had people telling you that they would have paid much more, and you increased the prices straight away. Is that from memory? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I actually remember you guys saying that in the I can't remember which week it was, but you're like, oh yeah, go with this price in this week, and you were sort of like, but I guarantee that within a month's time you'll be upping your prices. And I was like, oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then by the next fortnight, I was, the leads that were coming through, I was like, oh yeah, the price is this. And then even now, without jumping too far ahead of, questions you may ask me is, even now, the price isn't necessarily skyrocketing every week, but my methods are certainly changing as I learn each week as well, which means my time is just becoming more and more valuable, which it's nice to feel that way.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. That's cool. Beautiful. So, I guess from your side of things, obviously, like you said, you had niched, you had some people reaching out from around Australia, and so you got those I guess the 16, and then the doubling that pretty much before touching Facebook ads. Is that correct?
Yeah, I haven't even touched any yet.
Yeah, which is pretty phenomenal. Yeah. That's pretty fantastic. So what ways? What have you mainly got? I guess most of your results or most of your leads you found from?
Yeah, cool. So we started out with probably 16 clients to start with, and now I've just over doubled that. And the only reason that I haven't gone further than that is just because I'm a one-woman show at the moment. And once we're in the process of looking for an off-sider, so once we have that person, then we've kind of got further goals that we'll push it to. So it's just a case of not wanting to do too much as one person, and still providing that quality. Well, technically, but still providing that quality of service as well. So I guess we're pretty lucky in our niche. There is very, very few people in Australia doing what we're doing. And we have the facility here in Brisbane as well as the online side of things that we can draw from. Now, our biggest source of leads has been a private Facebook group.
Yep.
And so I'm part of 4, but I own one forum. I'm an admin on another forum. I've got my private forum for once people actually join the program. And then I'm part of another forum as well. But they're very, very strict on what you can and can't post. So I just kind of sit back and stalk people. So the forum that we own, we've just kind of built that up over time. It's very, very specific to our niche and our product.
Yep.
And, I think at the moment it's sitting around 1,000 people. And I have only been coaching females. So I've only put it out there to females at the moment. We kind of have a time frame that we're going to launch it to males and females, but we're just not quite there yet. So the private Facebook forum has been the biggest source of leads, and I guess we're sort of different to most people. It's not like we're just, hey, have a bikini body or weight loss or whatever. It's very specific about, hey, get into the ADF.
Of course.
So people are looking for those forums when they, go through the recruiting process.
Yep.
They find our forum, they join it, we jump on them. So, that's, if I can suggest anything, even if you've only got, 5 or 10 people in it, create a private Facebook group because it costs you nothing other than your time. And if you're the admin and you're the owner, you can do whatever you want in there. As I said, there's another forum that's very, very strict. Like you can almost not even breathe in there, but it's got the right kind of people in there.
Yeah.
So, create your own and just start getting people in there, invite people in there, or, send them the link to it, or, whatever it takes to get people to join. That would be my biggest piece of advice. And then from there, word of mouth has just kicked in. So I get a lot of people who are like, oh, my friend's sister did your program.
Yep.
Or, the best one I had was, oh, my mum's nail lady, her daughter trains at your gym and told me about the program. And then word of mouth has kind of kicked in.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I ended up having a lot of people that were adding me as a friend on Facebook, which is fine. And, it's not like I'm posting all my dirty laundry on Facebook or anything, but just as a personal thing with the baby coming and whatnot, I was just kind of getting a bit protective over who I kind of do have on Facebook. So I did a bit of a cull, but before I did that, I created a public figure page, which it doesn't have a huge amount of followers on it, but it's got the right followers on it. So once I kind of transferred everyone over there, I did my little cull. And then following the social media calendar plan that you guys give us, I think in about week 7 or 8.
Yep.
And then I've done that for 3 fortnights now.
Cool.
And then each fortnight I just kind of tweak it based on what people are responding to, what times work better.
Yep.
And now I've kind of got my own kind of format that I'm using. So between that Facebook page, Facebook forums, and word of mouth, I haven't had to touch Facebook ads just yet. I literally spent some time today putting together some Facebook ads just to have them there ready to go.
Yep.
Because we probably will in the next few months, just because we want to build the business up before the baby comes.
Of course.
But yeah, I've not had to go there yet at all. So every form of advertising I've done so far has cost me $0.
Yeah, which is awesome. And I guess speak to so many different people, and they think that they need to have huge Facebook advertising budgets or big bank accounts to be able to start an online business. And literally, it amazes me how many people I speak to. Obviously, yourself being in sort of another league, but I know when we first spoke, you said you had a closed group and you're kind of just helping people out and just being friendly and building a group and being an authority. Yeah, and you actually hadn't generated anything from it. It was just almost a bit of a kind of like a hobby or just being nice people. And what you didn't realize is you had this gold mine to kind of tap into.
Because we sort of thought at the time that we were just building our reputation and we were just showing everyone that we're good people and we know what we're doing. So if down the track we ever decided to franchise the facility, then people in other cities would already know about us. Now we will never franchise now that we've just learned more about business. We will never franchise. But yeah, it's just kind of funny because we really didn't have any idea how valuable that Facebook group was.
Yeah.
But it was valuable for a different reason to what we originally thought. So,
Yeah.
and then we're like, oh my goodness, here's our lead source. So
100%. And even like some people, if anyone's listening to this and thinking, oh, well, I don't have a Facebook group, I didn't start it a year ago, is that, there's previous clients, there's previous leads you've spoken to, there's friends of friends, there's forums that you can join, there's groups, there's so many different places you can go into and start to build your authority, build your community. Obviously, start your own Facebook closed group, start building and growing that, but there's so many other opportunities and areas. Once you've got the right systems, the right structures, you know how to price it, etc., that you can bring those people into your funnel and then close them in the right way so that they see you with high value, and it's not a hard sell, or you're not chasing people. So I thought that's probably one of the biggest tips. And then obviously, as you said, generally what we find with people is those spaces, they're not unlimited, and in time you will have to go to advertising, but at the same time you've got a truckload of clients, you've got the income rolling in, and then rather than having to go, I need a big bank account before I can get started, you can hit the ground running, get clients, get income, and then use that to reinvest into your advertising to double, triple, quadruple, and grow really, really fast. So that's why I guess, hats off to you, Carly, hats off to yourself and Michael. You guys did, the work for a while there, and gave some awesome support and helped heaps of people, and then had the opportunity to kind of leverage and springboard off that, which is pretty exciting.
if I can just add, Chris, we didn't actually start that forum until start in November last year. So it's not like we've had it for years and years and it's taken ages to build it up.
Awesome.
We just started it. We added in people who go to our gym that we knew, and then as they started to meet people, they'd add them in. Beautiful. And then other people that add other people. And then once it kind of gets to about sort of the 300-400 mark, I think it starts to self-generate, pages you may like, or, groups you may want to join on Facebook. And so it kind of becomes like a self-servicing thing. You don't really have to do too much. So yeah, it's not like we've had it for years and years and years. We just kind of thought we'd start it, and then started being nice people, and then they started adding more people in, and more people, and then other people are saying, oh, have you heard about this forum? Go, and it just kind of went from there. So it's still only a baby, really. It's only a few months old. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I wasn't sure on the time frame, but exactly as you said, everyone that we speak to does the same thing. Once it hits a certain number, it kind of just snowballs, and it goes bigger and bigger and grows faster and faster. And that's pretty awesome. Cool. Well, I guess from in kind of wrapping up, what's your day like now as an online trainer versus previously when you were just doing the face-to-face stuff?
So I control every minute of my day now. It's not like, oh, I've got to be in at the gym at 5:30, and then I've got a big gap, and then I have other people at 5:30 p.m. and blah blah blah. It's particularly while I've been pregnant and a bit fatigued, I've had the flexibility to maybe sleep in a bit more if I haven't been able to sleep, and then I'll get up, and generally I always do my own workouts first thing in the morning, before I even open my phone or touch Facebook or anything like that. So once I've gotten back, I'll sit down, I'll go through any emails, Facebook messages, whatever, and from there I've set up my week so that Monday morning is delivery of programs. Yep. And I started out as being a weekly delivery of programs, and very quickly went to fortnightly.
Yep.
And I was weekly phone calls as well. And I was doing, phone call, FaceTime, Skype, whatever you want. And then I was like, oh my God, if I'm out and about, or I don't have the flexibility to go out and about if that's the case, because then I've got a Skype. It's like, nah, you can just have a phone call, and that way I can sit on the headphones even if I'm in the car and still have those catch-up calls with people. So it's fortnightly calls. I've started using the Schedule website. At first I had all day, every day available for calls whenever you guys need me. Yeah. And very quickly I went to 2 time slots in a week, so a Wednesday and a Friday afternoon. Good. So those days are set aside for weekly phone calls. Fortnightly phone calls. My Friday is for program tweaking, I guess, because it's templated. It's not necessarily I'm writing programs from scratch. So, tweaking programs, getting them ready, and, putting them in Dropbox or, wherever we're sending them from. And then in between that, yeah, I pretty much got my week broken up into touching base with leads from Instapage, setting up my social media for the fortnight, setting up my MailChimp for the month if it's up to that point in the month. So I've just kind of got my week. It's all very scheduled nowadays, based on, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But in reality, I reckon I probably work max 20 hours a week, max. And that's only because I want to, because I would be bored otherwise. So I probably don't need to be working as much, but I reckon, I probably maximum 4 to 5 hours a day, like if that. And that's just because Michael and I work here in the gym together, and we're here in the gym. This is our office. So I'm sometimes helping him with different things and whatnot. So it's, as an online trainer, I would probably say I work maybe 12 to 15 hours of that week.
That's pretty cool. And I guess income-wise is, some people might say, okay, cool, you're not working much, but you're probably not earning much. Income-wise, is it similar relative to what you were doing as a face-to-face trainer, working heaps more hours, or?
So I personally, as an online coach, earn more than the gym does with its group training and face-to-face. So and even from coming from the army, I've almost sort of, bearing in mind you get, housing and medical support and all that sort of stuff, but I've almost kind of like met my match with my wage there as well. So, you paid pretty well as a sergeant in the army. So, doing just fine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's haven't spent $1 on advertising, working, 15 max, maybe 20 hours a week, and earning double what you would as a face-to-face, and similar to what you were in the army. It's pretty awesome. Hats off to you. And look, you've done the work. You implemented everything that needed to be implemented, and literally step by step, I'd say you've probably been one of the top people. You're always touching base. You're always checking in. Literally just executing what you needed to execute, going through the stuff step by step. I think you did a video for us saying that you just listened to the stuff, executed it as it told you what to do, and literally like clockwork, it just works. So hats off to you. It's we can give the information, we can give the systems, we can give the structures and the proven formats, but at the end of the day, the person has to execute them, to do them, and you did that, and as a result, you've gotten the results you have, and it's pretty phenomenal.
As I say to my girls who I coach, my programs work. It's you that has to do the work, and I believe the same applies with the TribeFit program. The programs work, but the individual or the business has to do the work. It's not just a magic pill. So definitely follow every single step. Do everything these guys say.
Cool. No, I appreciate that. Well, I guess just to wrap up, and it's kind of I guess just like you were talking then, but if there was anyone that was a face-to-face trainer at the moment, whether they're killing it face-to-face or struggling face-to-face, and they're thinking about getting online, what would be your one line of advice and suggestion on what to do?
So I'm what I've learned, and I know you said one line, but
it's probably hard to wrap up in one line.
I'm a female. What I've learned is some people genuinely love being face-to-face coaches. So it's not like online is necessarily the be-all and end-all for some people, but if you've got all this spare time in the day in between clients, that's time you can be filling with something that's valuable. You can be sharing the knowledge that you've got, and you can be capitalizing on that knowledge. So don't be afraid to jump into the online realm, because it can be as big or as small as you want it to be. And like I said, I've got 32, I think, people at the moment, and that's only because it's just me. Once I've got a team, I can expand that to be more. It's an ever evolving beast, and don't be afraid of it. And if you've got the time available, and you want to either add to what you're doing or replace what you're doing as a face-to-face coach, then definitely do it, because I'm now in control of my life, I guess, and my work life anyway. It doesn't control me, and to me that's like, I've got a lifestyle now. That's the best part of it. So don't be afraid of it.
Beautiful. Cool. Well, thanks so much for your time, Carly. That was awesome, and I'm sure everyone that watches this is going to take heaps of good information from it. Like I said, way too many people believe that you need to spend truckloads on advertising and you need to do all these crazy funnels and all that sort of stuff. At the end of the day, if you have the right systems, the right structures, the right pricing, you know how to pick your avatar, your niche, and you have the right funnel. You only need one simple, really basic funnel. The two-step funnel that we show you how to do. Literally having all those things in place can give you the successes like you have had, Carly, and I guess that's mainly what I wanted to get across to everyone. Is there's so many opportunities out there to get clients, getting the ball rolling, getting you up and rolling. You don't need to think, I need to spend 6 months building up my Facebook, my Instagram, doing this, getting big bank accounts so I can spend on advertising. There's literally always opportunities around. And like you said, you can kind of make it as big as you want it to be on the online space.
Definitely.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for your time today again, Carly, and no doubt we'll be talking soon. I'll speak to you soon. Definitely. Bye for now.
All right. See you, Chris.